What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I want to get into this. I want to break down the Oklahoma State Cowboys 2021 football or 2020, football preview. So the Oklahoma State Cowboys 8-5 last year. They lost to Texas Tech, Baylor. But Baylor's kind of going to be a team that's kind of out of the mix after Matt Rule is going to move on. But you look at this team, 10 starters back on defense and 7 on offense. This is a team with a lot of experience. They're going to have a quarterback that's in Spencer Sanders that played a lot last year, got injured, and he's going to be back next year. Oklahoma State's kind of one of those teams that it's like they're always right in the mix of the Big 12. They don't really get the respect that really they deserve because they're kind of like that team that finishes second right behind Oklahoma a lot. It's kind of like Phil Mickelson when Tiger Woods was going off in the 90s, 2000s. Mickelson had all those second place finishes, but was right always in the mix, very competitive, still one of the best in the game, just was not really getting the recognition he deserved because he was always finishing second. Kind of like Oklahoma State there under Mike Gundy. This is going to be Mike Gundy's 16th year there, believe it or not. So under Gundy, they're kind of always finishing second behind Oklahoma, and even a few years back it was Texas when Mac Brown was there. But this team, this team's going to be competitive. One of the best running backs in the country, and Chuba Hubbard had the 16th best rushing season in college football history last year with over 2,000 yards on the ground and 21 touchdowns. Also have Tylan Wallace, one of the best receivers in the country. Very good footwork, very good hands. He's a guy that, just does a lot of the little things well when I've watched him on film. And, he's going to be he's going to be right in discussion for a first, second round type of receiver. So this is another draft class loaded at the wide receiver position, like I've been saying. So, but yeah, Spencer Sanders back at quarterback. He was 7-3 as their starter. This is a team that they ended the year with a loss to Texas A&M. They have some talent on defense. Malcolm Rodriguez and linebacker. He led the team with in tackles, had 1.5 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss. It's the Big 12. It'll be interesting to see how this team kind of finishes. It's the Big 12 is next year. It's Oklahoma. There's some they're going to be really good, but they're a new quarterback and they've lost some guys on offense, and this could set up to be a showdown with Oklahoma for the conference title. So it's going to be exciting, interesting, and I'm looking forward to it with Oklahoma State. But yeah, Oklahoma State, a very solid program. You look back even before Mike Gundy, Les Miles was there. This program was kind of nothing, and then these guys have really got this program kind of on track. And it's not a pro. Oklahoma State's not like a big elite brand, but it's a program that if you're a college fan, that casual fan, is a competitive team. They can't really recruit with some of the best. So I want to get into Jim Harbaugh and the Ryan Day thing at a Big Ten conference, like web conference thing. Jim Harbaugh made some comment about Ryan Day, one of his assistant coaches, breaking some of the rules with being on field with the players at a certain time when they weren't supposed to, and then it really ticked Ryan Day off, and he told Harbaugh that you just worry about your team. And then it was reported later that he said to his players that they were going to beat them by 100. Hopefully there's a mercy rule this year. So, but I really love this. I want the intensity of this game, and it's stuff like that just, gets me fired up. This is really telling, because if the Michigan-Ohio State game is played, which I hope it will be, this sets up for an intense game, and that's what I want. It's intense every year, but if just adding to the fire, this is going to this is going to say a lot about Harbaugh and Michigan, because I've been saying the whole time that they need to take this game more seriously. And if after they say stuff like that, if they show up and just lay an egg and don't perform, then that is ridiculous, because that shows that you just don't have the respect for this game. You don't take it as seriously as Ohio State does. being called out like that, pretty much saying that they don't even view you as a threat. But, many people think that Ohio State's going to pummel on Michigan now after this. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because they might almost try too hard to beat them. You know how when you try to almost blow out a team, you almost can't do it. The other team ends up, sticking around. So, but yeah, there was, Ohio State has several Michigan assistants. I believe it was Al Washington, a former Michigan assistant, that was, they got in trouble with this. But so obviously the Michigan-Ohio State game now scheduled October 24th, originally always November, the last game of the season. So first time in years that it's going to be played then. So, but, yeah, I mean, if you, Harbaugh, maybe he's looking to motivate his players just to add to the intensity of this rivalry. Maybe showing fans that if Michigan beats them, that hey, look, I do take it seriously, and that's what I want to hear. I want to hear about the preparation and then them taking it seriously. So it was announced yesterday that the MAC will not have football in the fall, so which is very sad. I had recently just graduated from Central Michigan University, and I'd look forward to the tailgates and the games, and it's too bad. The MAC Central this year was going to play Nebraska and Northwestern. Both would have been big paydays, and it's not going to happen this year. So, the MAC relies on, like, Bowling Green was supposed to play Ohio State. The MAC relies on these big boys giving them the payday, like, what is it? Few $100,000, $500,000 to come in and get beat, and then get your money, and that funds their program, because most of these MAC schools they run at a deficit. Their football program loses money. You look at when they go on bowl trips, they spend a lot of money just like on the trip itself. So, but it's too bad. So no MAC football this year. So we're still kind of waiting on what's the word for the rest of college football. I'm one of those people that's positive they're going to play. I stay optimistic. I want college football bad. You can be negative about a lot of things in life, but when it's something I love and am passionate about, like college football, I'm going to side on the optimistic side. So, and big name players want to play. Trevor Lawrence, Jamar Chase, Justin Fields all want to play. So I'm excited about the opting out thing, something I already discussed, which is, it's too bad, but you know what? It is what it is, and it's, it can only hurt. You can only hurt your draft stock. People, they could forget about you. There's not always like a sure thing in the NFL draft. You see how it changes every year. There's going to be players that emerge that you never heard of. Look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow transferred to LSU, had a solid season, but coming into his last season, I think he was projected to be like a 6th-round pick or something. I don't even think that he was like on the radar of like Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. I don't even think they had him like ranked super highly, and then he becomes the first overall pick in the draft. And you're always going to have guys that emerge that are sitting behind stars, Like, I don't even know. You could give a ton of examples. Like, I don't know. Like LSU, for example, look at all the depth they have at whatever position. There's guys, or Alabama, there's guys that don't play till their junior and senior year, and you're like, wow, that kid's been on the bench. It's like, or Cardale Jones or JT Barrett. Cardale Jones didn't have the NFL career, but it's like he was sitting on the bench, 3rd string, and a guy that was an athlete, a guy that won some games, a competitor. So, you can have guys like that on the bench. So, yeah, that's kind of more of my take on that. So, but yep, I'm just waiting, anxiously waiting for more information to come out about the college football season. But it's too bad that. Too bad about the MAC. Also, UConn stated that they're going to cancel football for the 2020 season. I guess there were some changes to the FCS playoffs. It makes you wonder if the playoffs will even happen for college football this year, even if they do play. So it's tough, but I'm trying to stay positive. I'll say this: I know the NFL will play. That's one thing I've stated all along. It's a star-driven league. The NFL is going to play on Sunday, so that's big. And my favorite team, the Lions, have had most of the guys reporting back to get ready to go. So Stafford obviously was in the news lately about the they thought he tested positive, but there were 3 straight negative tests, so he's cleared to go, which is big for the Detroit Lions. And so they're a team that I believe has no guys that are going to sit out due to COVID. So thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Thanks so much for you guys' support. It means the world to me. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Till next time, peace.